Welcome to our Nashoba Tech Alumni Podcast, where we explore life after Nashoba Tech and the journeys that our graduates undertake, and the careers and community involvements that they built along the way. I'm your host, Lena Wilcox, and our guest today is a class of the 2013 alumni and graduate of Nashoba Tech's Plumbing and Heating program, Cameron Dumais. Welcome, Cameron.
Awesome. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah. All right. So just to start, tell us, what was Nashoba Tech like when you were a student here?
So growing up, I always wanted to go to tech school. My whole family did. I grew up in the HVAC field with my father, so I started at a very young age. So I kind of knew I wanted to do plumbing coming here. I've heard the tech schools kind of changed a lot, just the way developing and when you're a freshman, how all the exploratories work and stuff like that. But I loved being able to go to shop for 1 week and have to do no classes, and then the other week be able to go to class and learn all my regular academics. I'm a more hands-on person. I wasn't always a big fan of school, so it kind of helped me out to be able to break it up into 2 different weeks.
Yeah, definitely. No, even while I've been here, so much has changed really with those 1 weeks, those exploratories. So it's really interesting stuff going on here. So, when you said you kind of had that background and you kind of wanted to go into plumbing, what sort of drew you in officially here?
So when I was like I said, when I was young, my father was in HVAC. I realized I wanted nothing to do with sheet metal, but HVAC kind of takes on some of the plumbing aspects in itself. So I grew up at a very young age knowing how to solder and do different things. When I decided I wanted to do plumbing and came in here, I went through the different exploratories and stuff. Nothing else really caught my eye just because I was so set on it already. When I went in there, I vibed with the teachers right off the bat. They were very impressed with my work. They're like, you definitely have a background in this, so it's pretty funny right off the bat. And then I got my shop because I did good in there and made sure I did good on all my other exploratories, and it was my number one choice.
Awesome. Yeah. Honestly, I got to say, I was the same way coming in here for my shop at TV, so it's really awesome to hear a similar experience there. Tell us, what other clubs and activities were you involved in, and did these experiences influence you or kind of help you on your path as you sort of entered into your career?
Yeah, so I was involved in a couple different clubs and sports. I played football for the team for all 4 years. I was captain my senior year. I felt like that gave me a good leadership role and everything to learn how to control people underneath me, which is helping me now in my job because I'm a service manager at my company. I also I ran track and field for my first 2 years here. And then I decided my friends had me get into boys lacrosse, so I switched over my junior and senior year to lacrosse, which I played, and I absolutely loved just playing sports and being active here. I mean, the coaches and everything are great, student body supporting you in the sports. I actually started the snowboarding program when I was here. I was part of the head getting that going. I don't know if that's still around anymore, but we used to do weekend trips up to a mountain, stay up there in a hotel for the weekend and stuff like that. So that was a pretty fun thing to help run and get organized. And then I also did Skills USA when I was here too.
Yeah, how was that experience at Skills?
I wish I did a little better. I never really made it past the first round, but just in general, being a part of it, that small group that even gets picked from your shop to go participate in Skills was pretty fun. The whole day, you take your test and everything, and then just after they have dance parties and all different things, and it was a lot of fun to be involved in and be, like I said, one of those few that got picked to actually be involved in it.
Yeah, right. It really shows, you don't really have to medal to kind of have that impact made, on your education, your extracurriculars. It's really awesome.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely looks good on resumes and stuff, too.
Oh, yeah. All right. Sort of to wrap up this kind of school section, do you have any words of advice for our freshman students as they're exploring technical programs and making the crucial decision of which program to join?
I would just say if you don't know what you want to do, just have an open mind going into everything. I mean, I've known people who came here and they didn't expect to take a shop, and they ended up in that shop and they loved it, and they're still going with their career now in that shop. I've also known people who have come here, they were set on a shop and they're not doing it anymore, and they wish they actually took a different shop. I got a friend who took auto body and now she's a doctor. So it's just, she's like, I wish I took medical back in the day but she was set on auto body when she came here. So just have an open mind on all different things. I actually didn't do plumbing when I graduated for the first couple of years because I had a thought that I was going to change my mind, and then I ended up back in it. So it's really hard at that age to try to decide exactly what you want to do, but it's great that they have that exploratory program and that you can go through and open your eyes to all different trades.
Yeah, and any words for the upperclassmen? We're getting really close to graduation day, so there's a lot of stuff kind of coming at us fast and hard. What do you have to say about that?
It goes by quick. It's crazy. I feel like I just graduated like 3-4 years ago, and it's been 13 years now. Just enjoy it while you can. I know everyone says it, but it really is the truth. Until you get older, you don't realize how fast it actually goes by. And just take opportunities that you can get while you're young, because it's, like I said, it just flies by, and then you're not going to get that later in life. I mean, there's things I wish I did that now I'm too old, and if I get hurt, it's over. I can't afford my house. I can't afford my family and stuff. So just do it while you can while you're young, but don't be stupid with it either.
Right. All right. So I know you did co-op at Nashoba Tech. So what made you first decide to sort of take that path in your education?
I've always been a hard worker. Just from at a young age and stuff, I've worked with my dad, and coming into it, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer to me. Why would I want to go to school when I can go make money? So that opportunity, the second I could get on, I already had resumes out, got a job, and jumped on it the first week I could, which for us back then was I think after February vacation of your junior year, which I don't know if it's still that way.
Yeah, it's still pretty similar, yeah.
Yeah, it was once we finished the OSHA 30 and stuff, and then I think it was right after vacation. So I had a couple different jobs when I was on co-op between my junior and senior year. At that time, it was actually kind of hard to get some plumbing jobs, so I popped through a couple different companies. It was just a weird economy. And I actually ended up even doing some black iron work for a while, because there was just no plumbing jobs, and the school allowed it because it was still threading. We were doing black steel and everything like that. I was learning a lot about the trade. It was a little bit different of a trade, but it still fell in the category, because plumbing and heating's there's a bunch of different variations of it out there. So they allowed me to do it, and it was a great experience. I got to learn the hands-on, the fittings, the tools better in the field, because what you learn in the shop is one thing, but when you actually get out to the field, it changes a lot of, not everything lines up perfectly.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you think all that outside work, like, really prepared you? And, like, in what specific way, I would say, I guess? Like, sort of elaborate on that.
Yeah, it definitely prepared me. Just in general, working out in the field, working for a company underneath some experienced licensed guys and stuff, they seem to be a little more lenient when dealing with a co-op kid. Right now, we have, I think, 3 co-op kids at my company right now, but since I've been there, we've had about 6, and they're learning. So they're high school kids. Some of them not matured yet and stuff, so we take it easier on them. Once you get out into the field after graduating and stuff, you're supposed to be an adult. You're supposed to be more mature. You're supposed to be on top of everything. So it gets a little harder at that point. So it's good to get that jump into the co-op life, learning how real jobs work, learning paychecks, learning bills, learning how to work underneath somebody, paying attention, details, just every little thing on the job that you're making money for your boss, and if you're not showing progress or doing what you're supposed to for those licensed guys, they're going to get mad. So, you're losing money for the company. So it's great to just get a kickstart on that, and be prepared for the real world when you do graduate.
Yeah, so I mean, overall, I guess, you said so much about it, but would you recommend co-op for, like, the current upperclassmen who are kind of, like, in between, like, staying in shop versus going on co-op?
Oh, 100%. Working out in the field is a whole different thing than being in the shop. Shop's great to learn you the basics, but like I said, the field's a whole different aspect of life, and it really starts teaching you at a young age about maturity. Start getting a paycheck, learning how to spend your money, manage your money, save your money. And it breaks it up. It's every other week. So you're not full. You still get to have fun. You get out of work. A lot of companies will still allow you to go to sports and different things as long as you find the right company. But it's definitely, I recommend it rather than just staying in shop, because you'll still learn in shop, but you learn way more in the field.
Right. So if there was anything you wish you did differently during your time in high school, is there anything you sort of wish you did differently in high school, like now that you're working in
I just wish I embraced it a little more. I mean, like I said, everyone's going to tell you it flies by, but it really does. So just live every moment while you can. Enjoy your friends, enjoy your family. Work, but don't overwork yourself. Those times after work when you can go hang out with friends and stuff, do it. It's just, I mean, it does fly by, so it's just crazy how fast it goes.
Right. All right. So tell us what you did for work after graduation.
So after graduation, my life was actually a little different. I went straight into the military.
Okay.
So I graduated, and 1 month later, I left for basic training. So I went there for 6 months. I came home in November of 2013. And when I did that, I was just in the reserve. So it was 1 week in a month I went to drill, 2 weeks a year we went up, shipped out somewhere for some training. I did that for 8 years. While I was doing that, I actually first started working for that same company that I was on co-op, and it was actually sprinkler fitting for fire safety. But like I said, it was still threading black pipe and everything, but I had an in when I got home from basic. After that, I actually decided to make a jump because I wanted to get back into more of the plumbing aspect of it, and I started working for a water purification company. So we were purifying water for research and dialysis. I worked there for a couple of years, and then I really decided that I want to be a plumber. The other stuff, you couldn't do like side work or anything like that, and I decided I really need to get back in and get my license. I was still doing plumbing on the side with a family friend's dad at nights and weekends, and I decided like that's what I want to do for my career. So I got back into that, I think around 2017, and I worked for an HVAC company, but there was a couple plumbers on for that, so we were doing a lot of plumbing there, but we weren't really roughing houses and stuff. So I decided to get back in with the company I'm at now around COVID time, and I've been there now for 6 years, and I'm the service manager over there, and I love it. Now I run my own LLC after hours too, and I'm my own company.
That's awesome. What's your day-to-day kind of look like as a service manager?
So we're in the transition right now. We never really had a manager at the company before. We're not a big service division. We're trying to bring some more people in. But in the morning, it starts off with usually my boss letting me know where everybody's going for the day, not just my service techs, but my rough-in guys too. So I tell all the guys who they're working with because the apprentices sometimes get switched up. So we let them know who they're working with, where they're going. Once we get them all settled and their stock ready to go, then I'll usually jump in my truck and I'll head to whatever job I need to go to. Some days my job consists of one job. Other days I might be going to 7 or 8 jobs, maybe a couple of look-ats during the day, making stock lists back at the shop, calling around to get quotes for all the different material. It really depends what's going on that day for me, but the morning is definitely getting my guys out first, and then I get what my boss wants me to take care of for the day.
Yeah, awesome. So I have to ask, do you have a favorite like story or moment from your job you feel like you want to share?
Just in general, anytime a customer goes back to my boss and lets them know I did a good job, or I'm on a job site, I'm getting compliments about my work, it always feels good. I'm very particular with my neatness. Everything has to be level, hung perfectly. Like, I'm very particular. So I get compliments all the time on my work, and once it gets back to my boss and he lets me know that the customer contacted him is usually what makes me feel pretty good about it.
Oh, that's awesome. Shows your impact too, like you're doing something good.
Yep.
Right? All right, so what are your future goals? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, even 10?
Yeah, so like I said, I do run my own company after hours. It started off when I was pretty much just graduated. I started doing little jobs for my family and stuff. Oh, I'll change your faucet. I can do that. Started there, and then it kind of just spread by word of mouth over the years. I finally decided that it wasn't just family anymore, so I started getting insurance and all that, and I was a sole proprietor. And then I decided that was getting too big, and I wanted to cover myself, so I started my own LLC last year. And with my own LLC, I get out of work at 3:30 every day, and I work till most nights around 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, but it's rewarding too. It's nice side money to bring into my family. It's actually funny. I would say 50% of the teachers and stuff that were here when I was a student, I now do the plumbing at their house.
Wow.
Down to the principal.
Yeah.
I do his plumbing too. So it's good to know that I was close with a lot of the teachers and stuff. They saw my work. They just saw my attitude. And when I graduated, they actually reached out, finding out that I was running my own thing, and asked me to start working for them.
That's awesome.
So my goal would be to run my own company or be the owner of a company, whether it's my own or whatnot, but get out of the field eventually and be able to take days off and be able to enjoy myself and just go golfing on a half day if I want to, because I'm the owner and it doesn't matter. I got guys making the money for me. I mean, I feel like that's what every owner wants to be able to do, is take vacations with their family and just be able to enjoy life and not have to slave and kill themselves underneath sinks all day.
Right, yeah. So I understand that you ran the Boston Marathon in 2019 to raise money for a worthy charity. Could you tell us a bit about that experience and the charity you were sponsoring?
Yeah, of course. So in 2018, I actually did the Boston Marathon Tough Ruck. So that was full military uniform, carrying a rucksack with 50 pounds in it, and you do the Concord Revolutionary Trail, and it raises money for like wounded veterans and stuff. So that was my first aspect of doing it. And once they give you a medal, but it says Tough Ruck on it. And after I got that, I was like, I'm going to run the marathon. At that point, I ran track and field, but I ran the 100 and the 400. I was not a long distance runner at all. So going into 2019, I just signed up for the marathon. I had a friend who ran for this charity called 50 Legs. They donate prosthetic legs to people in need, veterans, children. All the Boston bombing victims got their legs through us. Local Jeff Bowman from Chelmsford, who was one of the victims, he got his legs through us. Celeste Cochran. There's crazy amount of people, but we do like I said, veterans and children too, like kids with cancer, lawn mowing accidents. Whoever needs a leg, we try to get a leg for them. So in 2019, I signed up for this charity. I was doing a one and done. I ran the Boston Marathon, completed it, and I thought it was all over. In 2020, I got convinced to sign up for it again. Then COVID hit. So the marathon actually got postponed. But with that, we went down to Florida that year because I became very close with one of the recipients, and she was getting a new leg, so I wanted to go see what it was all about. And I absolutely fell in love with the charity. I became a board member in 2021, which I also ran at the marathon again. And then 2022 and 2023, I ran it again. And I'm a board member now, so I'm currently not running it. But I do have a team of 13 runners that run every year, and the board members all go there. We support them, and we bring in like $500,000 just with the marathon every year.
Wow, that's insane. That's awesome. That's some awesome stuff.
Yeah, it's an amazing charity.
Yeah. You did a lot of sports stuff, you said. Could you tell us a bit about your time coaching football for Nashoba Tech? Yeah,
so I loved playing football my whole life. I was the captain of the team my senior year. I was a running back and defensive back. So once I graduated, I went to basic. When I came home that following year, I was trying to get into coaching like Pop Warner because I just wanted to volunteer for something. And unfortunately, my town I was living in were taking only the alumni from their schools to come volunteer for the Pop Warner. So I happened to come back to practice one day, and James Creed and Rob Bodette were the coaches at the time. And I was like, oh, do you guys need any help or anything? And they were like, yeah, like, if you really want to, like, we can help with the defense. So my first year, I just volunteered. And then the next couple of years, I ended up getting an assistant contract. And I stayed coaching for 6 years. Right around COVID time is when I started really blooming with my my side business. And my normal work was really busy, too. And I couldn't make practices, and I was going to practice and then going home after to go work after before going home. I wasn't getting home till 9, 10 o'clock at night. I just realized that, unfortunately, even though I love coaching, the money wasn't quite there compared to what I could make outside of coaching. So I had to give up coaching in around 2021.
Right. If you ever had like more time in your day, like would you really want to go back, sort of do that again?
Oh, I'd love to go back. I'm hoping, like I said, one day that I can be an owner of a company or maybe a teacher in the school, and I could go back to coaching.
Right.
It's so much fun. I actually have a baby boy on the way right now.
Aww.
And I'm hoping he plays football or something. I can coach him growing up.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cute. I love that. So, as we do near the end of our podcast, I would like to talk to you about our school's portrait of a graduate and the 5 R's. So, a Nashoba Tech student is ready, responsible, respectful, reliable, and resilient. How would you say you exemplify the 5 R's in your daily work?
I would just say with that I've been in the spot of co-op kids. I've been in the spot of apprentices. I know it's not easy. You're learning. So as a service manager and stuff, I really try to give them the benefit of the doubt, give them a learning lesson, not just lose it on them right off the bat if they mess up. Because, I mean, there's things I still mess up to this day. Every day is a new day, and there's plenty of days that I've learned something new. So just with the apprentices, with my guys too, I just try to give them the benefit of the doubt. Come back to me. Let me know. I'm going to let you know what you did wrong. Let me know why you did it. Maybe there's something I didn't realize you had to do it that way, and we'll take care of it together and get it fixed all in one, rather than just losing it on them.
Right. All right. So thank you for taking time to speak with us today. It was a pleasure to have you in the studio sharing all your experiences with us.
Of course. Thank you for having me, and wish everyone here the best of luck in their careers.
Thank you. All right. And that concludes our Viking Alumni Podcast. Thank you again, and goodbye.